What is up, everyone? Mr. Aviator here, bringing you my first ever speed build on this channel. Actually, this is the first ever build I've done on The Sims 4 from the ground up. And I know you're probably wondering, why don't you do builds more often, Aviator? Well, there's a simple answer for that. I'm actually very self-conscious with how I create houses and my design process. I feel like I'm being judged by a million people because there's so many other great builders in the community, and I just never feel like I'm good enough to do one of these. So I guess, I just decided yesterday, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna try, and I actually kind of liked how this turned out. I hope you guys do too. If you guys do enjoy this speed build and want to see this more often on the channel, let me know by hitting that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to get this build for some reason and you want to put it in your world, you can look me up on Origin. My username is AviatorNetworks. You can find me that way, and you can find my builds and my Sims and everything I ever created on The Sims by searching that Origin ID. But okay, so let me explain this house a little bit before we get completely into the speed build. So what I was trying to do was I was doing something that was very inspired off of, the new Plant Sim little challenge update. I wanted to have something that's very colorful and garden-esque and just eco-friendly, because I know that's like a new stuff pack that's gonna come sometime later this year or early next year. So I wanted it to be like eco-living meets plant life type Sims. And that's what I was trying to do with this build, if you're wondering what my thought process was. But I really do like how it turned out. And let me explain why you see a face cam and you don't see me matching my voice to my face cam. Basically, I stream this live on my Beam account. If you guys don't know, I have a Beam account, which is basically a live streaming website where I stream 4 to 5 times a week. I stream Sims, I stream Minecraft, I stream random games with friends like GTA and stuff. I play with Megan Plays, My Guy Rocky, all those kind of people. So if you want to check out these streams live and see the actual building process and see other Secret Sims Let's Plays, I'll link my Beam account down below. You can make an account and go follow me over there. I'm actually going to be live later tonight on there, so definitely make an account, go follow me, and maybe watch me do other sim endeavors on there tonight. But enough plugging my Beam account. Let's talk about this house. So I was very nervous making this house. I was very self-conscious. I was constantly looking at the chat, seeing if people approved of my decisions, because like I said, I just feel like I'm not good enough to be doing speed builds in The Sims. There's so many amazing simmers out there that just do such amazing work, and I look up to them so very much. But I really do kind of like what I did with this house. I actually was able to do all different color schemes. I found a wallpaper that I absolutely loved, and you'll see me use it in every single room with different color schemes because it is the best wallpaper ever. I might use this house in a future series because I like it that much. I mean, I might just be hyped because it's like the first house I ever created, and I might be overhyping this, and it might not be that impressive to you, but I was so hyped for this, and I spent forever trying to find windows for this kitchen. Like this in real time, this was probably like 15 minutes. This took me 2.5 hours to build this house, guys, and it's not a big house, and I didn't do any backyard work or anything. So that was just my process with the interior design. It was literally like the whole stream. It was like 2 hours. Like it took me half an hour to build the outside of the house, and then like, I don't know, like 2 hours to furnish it, which is kind of ridiculous, but it was well worth it, I think, in the end. Let me tell you a story, actually. Okay, so when I was streaming this on Beam, I was having a good time just building this house, and all of a sudden my wife texts me. She was sitting downstairs, I'm streaming up in my office. She texts me and she's like, "Did you order a pizza?" I was like, no, why? Did a pizza come to the house? And then about a minute later, I got a call from the police department telling me to come out of my house with my hands up, and they believed I kidnapped a child. Because someone swatted me. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Basically, someone found my address and my information, and they called the police and said that I had them kidnapped or something. And the police came to my house, made me go outside with my hands up in the air, get down on the ground, and they had flashlights all over my face. I couldn't see any of the police officers. I didn't know how many there were at first. And then another police officer came from around the corner of my house, and they all looked very on edge. They had their hands on their guns. I was like, uh-oh, this can't be good. And they're like, "Where's the kid?" I'm like, "What kid? I don't have any kids." And they're like, "We got a tip that you guys have a kid in this house that you've kidnapped." And I was like, "What? No, I'm streaming Sims. I'm not kidnapping kids right now. I don't do that. That's not something I do in my spare time. I don't kidnap people." So basically, I talked to the police, and they lowered their flashlights. I noticed there was 2 cops outside and 2 cops in a car waiting. They told me if I would have took another 30 seconds to answer the phone or door, they were gonna bang the door in, like kick it down, like batarang it down. My door was gonna be kicked in, guys. So basically, I talked to the cops for a little bit, and they asked me if it was okay if they searched the house. I was like, of course, I got nothing to hide. Go in there and try to find this child. And and they basically said, anyone else in the house? I'm like, my wife Haley, and I have 2 small dogs. So they went in the house, searched it. They searched every room, every closet, every nook and cranny of the whole house with me outside and my wife inside. And I was being interrogated by this other cop out there. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be taken to jail? Like, I had no idea what was going on. I was really scared that at any moment, you know, something could have went wrong and someone could have found, I don't know, like a prop gun or something. Like, I have a BB gun in my house and stuff like that. And it is Texas. I have a couple legal guns. But I was just like, man, maybe they find this gun and they think, oh, this guy's a kidnapper, and then they just shoot me. Like, I was super scared. And I was terrified, and I was worried for Haley and my dogs, because my dogs were barking like crazy. They were going insane. But then the cops were super chill. The guy came out. He was in full SWAT gear, and he's like, I figured this was a fake call. Because I live in a decent neighborhood where, like, I don't know, I just hope people aren't getting kidnapped every day, because, like, then I got to sell this house and get out of here, because I'm not trying to get kidnapped. You know I'm not a kid, but I'm not trying to get kidnapped, okay? So, basically, they said, we knew it was probably a fake call, but we have to take everything really literally, and I'm like, oh, I understand, you know, no problems. And I actually made, like, pretty good friends with 2 of the cops, which was really nice. Now I probably have some, like, 2 cop friends. I have 2 friends that are cops. And then another cop pulled me over the other day, well, actually like 2 months ago. I was driving, totally different story, okay? Okay, I was swatted, and that was all settled. The cops were nice, and now they're trying to find whoever swatted me by using internet forensics. So hopefully that works out. And if they find them, I'll let you guys know. But another story relating to the cops in my area, I was driving down the road, and it was like 2 in the morning. I was coming home from a friend's house, and basically, on my way home, it was late, and I was just like driving really slow because I'm like, I don't know if there's drunk drivers outside. I want to take things really slow. I don't want to get hit by a car or anything like that. So I was driving my Jeep real slow. This was back when I had my Jeep. So I was driving my Jeep around real slow. The speed limit's 30 near my house. I was going like 33. I'm like, I'm gonna keep this legit. So I'm going like 33 miles per hour. I'm like, I'm gonna go nice and slow. I'm gonna be aware of everything. I'm gonna know of everything that's going on. So as I'm driving really slow, I see this car pull up behind me, and he gets really close to my bumper, like he's gonna hit me or something. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Because it was 2 in the morning. There was no other cars on the road. I'm like, if he wants to go faster, why doesn't he just pass me? I'm going the speed limit. So I decided, I'm like, I'll slow down a few miles per hour more, and maybe this guy will pass me. So I slowed down to like 28 in a 30, which most people go like 35 in a 30. So I was going like 7 miles below the speed limit. So I slowed way down, and as I slowed down, this guy, whoever was following me, slowed down too and got even closer, and I was like, uh-oh, I don't like the looks of this. Immediately jumped to conclusions like, this guy's gonna kill me. Like, that's instantly what I was thinking. So I slowed down even more, and my turn was coming up, a turn that was gonna take me into my cul-de-sac area. So I was like, oh, do I take this turn? Do I keep going? I mean, like, I don't wanna like get into the boonies, because like if I would have missed my turn, I'd be in like the country, kind of like where there's not a lot of houses, because after my turn for my house, it becomes kind of just woods and country land, like farm fields and stuff. I was like, I'm not trying to get murdered out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm like, I'm going to turn into this cul-de-sac. So I turned into my cul-de-sac, and this guy who was following me slowed way down at the intersection and waited for me to go like a block or 2 down my cul-de-sac, and then turned as well. I was like, oh no, this guy's following me. Now, I live at the end of a U, so basically, once I get to the end, I have to do a U-turn to go back. So there's no exit. So I'm like, do I turn onto my U and risk this guy getting out of his car, blocking the road, and murdering me? I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know why this guy's following me. He got even closer after he caught up to me. And so I turn. I'm like, okay, I'll turn, go towards my house. If he turns here, because I know all my neighbors, I only have like 8. Like, if he turns here, I don't know who this guy is, and I am going to assume he's going to try to kill me. So I turn, and he does the same thing. He stops at the intersection, waits a bit. I'm driving my 1 block until I get to my house, because my house is at the head of the cul-de-sac, and all of a sudden he turns too. I'm like, oh, I'm dead, I'm gonna die. And basically I pull a U-turn, like, I'm gonna charge this guy. So I charge at him with my big truck, and he's in this little car. I didn't know what kind of car it was. I thought it was like maybe some type of, I don't know, like little sports car or something. And I charge at him, and I roll out my window, and because he stopped too, I rolled out my window and I start yelling like, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You know, I'm trying to be all tough, like, I'm not scared of being murdered. And it was a cop. I was yelling at a cop. He rolls down his window. He's like, your license plate's expired, but I think I scared you, so I'm just gonna let you go. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, you scared. No, I'm not scared. What? I'm a big man. So the cop let me go, and then he actually found out that, you know, because he searched who owns my car, and that's my company. I own a company, and he's like, are you a YouTuber? And I'm like, yes. And then, you know, we talked for like 30 minutes at 2 a.m. on the side of the road, and then he let me go back home, and he was really nice. So what I guess the moral of this story is the cops in my neighborhood and my area are super nice, and I got swatted and I got pulled over, but everything was great. Everything worked. Everything worked out. Yeah, this is a build. But enough talking about me getting pulled over by police and getting raided and swatted and all that. It's time to finish this build off and get to some of the screenshots that I'm really excited to show you guys. I work pretty hard on trying to make these screenshots look really pretty. And as you can see, here's an outside look at the house. Yes, I forgot to put little roofs on top of the bay windows. That was my major mistake. It's in the gallery like this though. Hey, imperfection is perfection. Is that right? I don't know. But then I did this awesome office space that I figure is very blue and luscious. As you guys can see, I had different color schemes with every room. So blue office, a nice half bath here, very neutral toned. And then we have this very bright and vibrant living room that I really love. Amazing TV, amazing setup, and even a nice little cozy fireplace area, which is, I think, just quaint. Now, if we move into the kitchen, I went with yellow. It's one of my favorite colors, so I went with yellow. Did like a really bright, sunshiny feel to it, a nice spring feel with the butterflies and all that. I love freshness in a kitchen, so I went with yellow. Then the dining room, I wanted to make like a party area. So I threw like a bar in there, and we had the big dining table. And with the bedroom, I kind of did it how my bedroom is in real life. We have like the blues and like the nice, this vibrant colors. And here's the bathroom. Gotta go, bye!